All right, this is game seven, and I'm going to rejoin this one in progress here and record it. 6 minutes in, we are no score so far, obviously. And Detroit had one scoring opportunity. Keith Primo had the puck at the blue line, but this was interrupted by one of those messages that I can't do anything about. When the government decides to send them, we receive them. They have to do with this pandemic, and they're just warning everybody when cases sprout up in different areas in the city. So nothing I can really do about that. I'm going to sort of restart this one. I'm not restart it. I'm going to continue it here in progress because nothing has happened. It's a shame though. I took several minutes actually to talk about the lineups for Detroit and Colorado. Let's try to give that a little more zoom focus. They're not really a zoom, but focus. Um, anyway, yeah, this is game by request, game seven. This is for Jason, and let's continue. Um, let's see here. No time off the clock actually here. Well, you know what? Let me go through and count. Let me count cards. So here you had Detroit scoring opportunity, and Keith Primo had the puck. He had it at the blue line, did not score from the blue line. And then you had another minute come off the clock there, 18 just outside of Colorado's range. And so that put it up to the 6 minute. So one, I'm actually glad that I double checked. It does mean that we have a scoring chance here for the Colorado Avalanche here, 6 minutes into the first period. And let's see, it's going to go to player C. Player C on Colorado's Valerie Kamensky on the front line. Scored a goal last night for the Quebec Nordiques against the Montreal Canadiens, a game that I know you all watched. And let's see here. Where did I see he had it from? No, C. So he's at the blue line with it. And he's not going to be able to score from there. Both teams playing tight defensively, playing very conservatively here. This is assuming that Detroit managed to win Game 6, and they didn't lose it 4-1 to the Colorado Avalanche. We play on. We have 2 more minutes coming off the clock here, so we're going to advance it to 8 minutes. 61 means no scoring chance for either side. 4 more minutes come off the clock. Now we're up to minute 12. And 40, that's going to be nothing either way either. 4 more off the clock. We're up to minute 16 now. Fast-moving first period with little happening here on either side and nothing here. So it's a tentative start for both teams up to minute 17. And there could be a penalty here. We could get a skirmish. Let's see what we get. Z3, Detroit does not have a Z3. And Z3, Colorado does not have a Z3. The referees tell them to knock it off or they're going to take one out of the scrum. 3 more minutes, they'll come off the clock. We're into the final minute here of the first period. Seconds to go. 90, that's going to be an opportunity here for Detroit at the tail end of the first period. Player K for Detroit is Vladimir Konstantinov here, the second defensive pairing. Konstantinov, he winds up at the point and he's unable to score. And if this is not a 0-minute carve, which it is not, then it means that we go into first intermission. Back for period 2, we have a scoreless tie after 1. And 2 minutes come off the clock right away, so we advance it to 69. That'll be no chance for either team. 3 more off the clock. Now we're up to minute 5 here in the second period. There could be a penalty to Detroit. WY2, let's see, do they have a W? I don't see a W. I do see Y2s, however. So the Avalanche are going to go to the power play here for the next couple of minutes. 85, though, that's going to be a shorthanded chance for the Detroit Red Wings, potentially. I'm looking at player K. I look at player K and I check his penalty rating. Y2, so that does mean that Detroit's going to be denied a shorthanded opportunity. That's how I play it. That's a house rule, if you want to call it that, or a personal one. And the second minute here, though, of the player advantage is going to be Colorado with a scoring chance. Here in the power play, player H, would he have been on the power play? Player H is actually a reserve. I'm glad that I got this out and ready. Let's see here. I almost didn't. I'm trying to remember now if it was the first, maybe it was the video that got cut off that I was talking a little bit about this in addition to talking about the lineups. While I'm reaching for the reserves, I should give brief mention to the formidable lineups. You look at Colorado's top 6. You have Valerie Kamensky, Peter Forsberg, sophomore Peter Forsberg here, Claude Lemieux over from Montreal and New Jersey, actually, for that matter. He won cups pretty much wherever he went. Adam Demarsh, Joe Sakic, and Scott Young here on the second line. And Sakic already had 17 goals by this point in the playoffs here in the Western Conference Final. If I didn't say it already, hypothetically, this is Game 7, assuming that Detroit did not lose Game 6. And why don't I see the reserves for the Colorado Avalanche? I have, goodness, I don't know how people who stockpile seasons, how they do it and how they keep track of them all. I'm looking here, and actually I found them. So the reserve here, I guess I'm going to flip another card. Let's see if we can get someone logical. B is Owen Nolan. I definitely will allow that. So Owen Nolan here with a scoring chance on the power play here for Colorado. In the slot here on the power play, can Nolan get Colorado on the board first? Indeed, he can. So it's going to be Colorado here with the power play goal in the 7th minute of the second period. And it's the Avalanche striking first, going up 1-0, much like they did in Game 6. They struck first and ended up winning that one. So, yeah, we play on here. My goodness, Colorado had a team. I'm looking at the reserves here. I see Owen Nolan. I see Martin Rucinski, who ended up going over to the Habs and having a good season there. Not that it really absorbed the loss of the blow that was Patrick Waugh going the other way to the Avalanche, going the Avalanche's way. Anyway, 2 more minutes come off the clock here, so we're about halfway through the game, 1-0 Colorado. 91 will be a chance for Detroit to get even, and Detroit, let's see, player H on Detroit, hopefully not a reserve. I don't want to go back to the reserves. It's going to be Nicholas Lidstrom, and Lidstrom here, the slot, so he's joined the offense. And Lidstrom from the slot, he's going to be able to tie the game here at 1 midway through. So we have a 1-1 hockey game. Hopefully this will be a tight contest we play on. Actually, wait, I didn't flip for assist actually for Nolan and Lidstrom. Hopefully that's okay. I'm just going to play on. Owen Nolan with the power play goal. I don't want to go back now. Nicholas Lidstrom scored the game tying marker. I do hope, Jason, that is okay. So hold on now. Did I, let me see here. Let me go back and check. Lidstrom, player H, yeah, power play slot, goal, okay, play forward. We're going to take 3 more minutes off the clock now. We're up to the 12th minute of the second period. 59 means no chance either way. Another minute comes off the clock here, minute 13, and 2, that's going to be a chance for the Colorado Avalanche. The Avalanche here with player Q. Player Q is Craig Wolanin, the defense really getting involved in this one. Wolanin, he actually has it in the slot, and Chris Osgood here, who I probably mentioned in the video that got cut off. Waugh was an executive decision because the card came up Fissé, but I mean, come on, it's Game 7 Western Conference Final, hypothetically, and Chris Osgood came up in the flip for Detroit. And so anyway, what did I say there? Wolanin, and yes, Osgood, he'll be tasked to make a big save here. And the save number is 11. Osgood from a 7-12 can't make a save. So Osgood with a big stop here, the 13th minute of the second period. We play on. 2 more minutes come off the clock here. We're up to minute 15. Minute 15, 67, that's no chance either way. Minute 16. 16 and 87, that will be a chance for the Red Wings. And let's see here with the player L. Player L for Detroit is Steve Yzerman here in the second line. Stevie Y. Stevie Y's in the slot, and he scores. So after the Avalanche struck first, Detroit has come back here with a couple of unanswered, and they are up 2-1 here late in the second period. Once again, I'm not going to flip for assists this time. Yzerman and Lidstrom have scored Detroit's goals. Owen Nolan, who evidently didn't get a lot of ice time in Colorado, but he did chip in there on the power play to break the scoreless tie. So 1 minute here off the clock. That puts us up to minute 17 in the second period, in Detroit here with a chance to add to their lead. Player A is going to be Sergei Fedorov from the top line. Fedorov, though, from the blue line, boxed out by the Colorado defense. Can Patrick Waugh make a big save? Let's flip and find out. The save is 3. Patrick Waugh with a 5-9 and a 12. So Detroit here, they are up 3-1. They are about to reverse what Colorado did to them in Game 6 when the Avalanche won 4-1 and took the series 4-2. Here, 17 minutes and some change into the second period. Sergei Fedorov has put Detroit up by a couple. I'm a bit surprised. I shouldn't be. I mean, anything can happen here. Another minute comes off the clock, so 18 minutes now. There could be a penalty to Colorado, evidently quite frustrated. It is funny how that will happen in shootout hockey quite often. Let's see, YX2. So Colorado has several X2 players. So Detroit actually will get to end the period with a player advantage after going up by a couple. And 70, that's in their power play range, 64 or greater. So Detroit here with a power play chance. It's going to be Fedorov back with it here on the power play. Fedorov in the power play slot. And this has become something of an unexpected, can't really say it's not result in the sense of an end result, but an unexpected affair or undertaking here. Detroit's up by 3 here toward the end of the second period. So we'll play another minute even strength and see if Colorado can do anything with it. So here in the final minute of the second period, no chance for either side, and this is not a zero card. So after 40, it is 4-1 for the Detroit Red Wings. Okay, back here for period 3, in case I did not mention in the cutoff, or in the restart of this video, the take 2 or whatever. Actually, I think it's about take 4, but this is for Jason. And yeah, this is Detroit, Colorado Game 7. I guess if you're joining this, not joining this, but if you're just watching the tail end of it here to see the final score, well, I don't know. I mean, it's looking pretty good for Detroit here after two periods. So anyway, we're going to play into period three. And I did happen to notice last night going around the horn on YouTube, actually, I thought I'd take a moment to mention that because I do in between periods, I like to mention some things. So, the channel, I think it would be called I Am Sporticus. I think that's the name of it. And he has 1997, actually, Colorado versus Detroit for shootout hockey. Not the great teams of the past. I think it's a straight season set. I just happen to get lucky here with the great teams of the past. I have two from the 95-96 season. They both had great teams that year. And anyway, he plays, his series goes 6 games. I've not seen all of it. In game one, Detroit wins, but I shouldn't actually spoil it for anybody, but I already said Detroit wins, so it's a final score of 5-3. And that one, game one, go watch some of his other games if you want to see more content like this. And it was one of those things, too, where I know I saw it on YouTube a while ago, and I think I mentioned this in a comment that sometimes when you're browsing on YouTube and things come up and you see them and you're like, I'm going to watch that. And then you can't find your way back to it. And I almost wondered if it was a figment of my imagination. That's what I said in the comment. But I mean, I knew that it wasn't. I knew that there were some other shootout hockey videos out there to be unearthed. So check out I Am Sporticus. And I will add to that a note that I took his channel and I'm featuring it on my channel for what it's worth. I think I'm up to 22 channels now, sports simulation and tabletop sports gaming channels that I have featured on my channel. If you have a channel or know of one, please let me know. I would like to subscribe to it and feature it. There are only 24 hours in a day, so I can't promise necessarily that I will be able to give a lot of time to it, but certainly one of the things that I want to do here with Hockey Unreal is kind of do what I can, to build out the related community for this. I mean, that's one of the reasons too why I started this Hockey Unreal account as Patch83. I'm subscribed to a lot of I don't know, some comedy channels, reaction channels, and just like a lot of hockey, but then a lot of variety of other stuff. And so I wanted this one to be very tabletop sports gaming, and sports simulation gaming exclusive. So anyway, with all of that said there, a bit of intermission banner. We're going to start things off here in period three. We start things off by advancing the clock 2 minutes. That's going to be a chance here for the Avalanche trying to get back into it. Player F on the Avalanche is Scott Young here in the second line. Scott Young from the blue line. And it's going to be Osgood once again tasked to make a save. Osgood with a 6, 7-12. He can't. So Colorado, there is life here with the Colorado Avalanche. They do... they're halfway there. I guess they score here early in the third period, just about 2 minutes in, and it's Scott Young here. I'm trying to think. Colorado earlier, they got their goal from. That's right, I had to pause and give my head a scratch. It was Owen Nolan actually on the power play opening things up for the Avalanche. For Detroit, I'm pretty sure it's been Fedorov a couple of times now, once in the power play. Was that Stevie Y? It was Fedorov. Lidstrom also. I'm going to have to play this back and watch it myself. Lidstrom also scored a goal for Detroit. And anyway, we play forward before I embarrass myself with that. So 3 more minutes come off the clock here, 5 minutes into the third period. And 63, that's going to be no chance either way. So we play on 3 more minutes come off the clock. Now we're up to 8 minutes. There could be another penalty to the Colorado Avalanche. WY2, I see W's, so Colorado's going to the box for 2. Detroit did score in the power play in the second period. Detroit has a scoring chance here in the power play here in the third. Player H for Detroit, that is Nick Lidstrom, who did score earlier in the game. Lidstrom here in the slot in the power play, and it's going to be a 5-2 game here for the Detroit Red Wings here hypothetically in Game 7 at Joe Louis Arena. It still would have been Joe Louis Arena in 1996. That's 9 minutes into the third period. So 11 to go here. We play even strength again. And actually, we're up to minute 12 now. And that's going to be a scoring chance here for Colorado in the 12th minute. So they're not going down without a fight. Player F here, that's Scott Young once again. Young, this time he's in the slot. But look at that. He's stonewalled by Chris Osgood. So we play forward here. Another minute comes off the clock. Good chance there for Colorado that they didn't really make the most of, I guess, or just weren't able to convert on it. And 3 more minutes come off the clock here. Now we're up to minute 16, and that could be a penalty to the Detroit Red Wings late. Actually, no, in the final 5 minutes of a game, I don't do that. So Detroit's really going to get away with one here. I play on here 3 more minutes, so actually we're up to minute 19. And I guess there would have been potentially a penalty to Colorado anyway, so I'm not going to worry about that. Colorado's down by 3. Do they pull the goaltender? I guess hypothetically, if this series was tied at 3, they would have. So Sorry for a bit of an conclusion that might have left you wanting more. But here in the final minute of the third period, again, we have a couple. There's no empty net. There's nothing either way. Detroit's just going to play to clear it. And it looks like the Detroit Red Wings, I mean, quite evidently, according to the cards, had Detroit been able to win game six and had this gone to a seventh game, I guess it would have been pretty much all Red Wings in that game, if these cards are any indication. So, anyway, thanks again for the requests. Keep them coming, games by request. If it were left up to me, I mean, I like playing all of these games, and so I guess another thing, perhaps selfishly so, somewhat, the games by request sort of, I like the idea. I like the idea of making content that hopefully other people want to see. I make the kind of content that I want to see, but I don't know. I guess it just gives a little more organization and structure and gives me a better idea of the kind of stuff that people would like to see. So, anyway, hope that you enjoyed the game. If you're a Detroit Red Wings fan, it's more likely than if you are or were an Avalanche fan. But anyway, I guess I should end by saying that once again, anytime any engagement is appreciated, any support in the way of commenting, liking, subscribing, while it's never expected, once again, to reiterate, it is always appreciated. As I've said before, it is icing on the cake. I do this because I like it. Cake is good, but icing is also. So anyway, bye for now.